Welcome on back into another episode of Planet Philly. My name is Jason Joseph, and if you're new to the channel, first of all, first things first, we got to get the housekeeping stuff out of the way first. If you're new to the channel, and if you enjoy, if you're a diehard Sixers fan, and you also really like space, okay? If you're a diehard Philly fan, I should say, not a Sixers fan. Well, you've come to the right place. You've come to the right place. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell icon too. We keep you up to date with everything that's going on in Philly sports on Planet Philly. That's what we do here. So feel free to do that. And yeah, let's just enjoy this ride because we're gonna take a couple of deep dives into things today. And I think respectfully first, we're gonna start talking about what happened today at the trade deadline. So let's start off with that without further ado. As we take off into space and we head on over to Planet Philly. Man, that's my favorite place to be at. It's my favorite place. All right. So let's take a stop over at the land of the 76ers. Okay. Well, how have the Sixers been doing? We really haven't talked about them in a while. But the Sixers are still fighting for a first seed in that Eastern Conference. And they did end up losing to Boston yesterday. They lost to the Celtics and they got outscored and also out defended and out everything, if that's even an adjective, or I just made up a word right there. And they struggled. And today was the trade deadline. They gave up Matisse Thybulle. They sent him to Portland. And it was a part of a 3-team trade. And they ended up getting back Jalen McDaniels. So the Hornets, who gave up Jalen McDaniels, this was a 3-team trade. The Hornets got 2 draft picks. Portland got Matisse Thybulle. Both of those draft picks were second rounders, by the way. And the Sixers got Jalen McDaniels. Now, isn't it ironic how on trade deadline day we get a Jalen? Maybe that's a sign of good things. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a little bit optimistic here, but I think it is kind of ironic in that sense that we do have another Jalen here in Philadelphia on Planet Philly. So Matisse goes all the way to Planet Portland. That's kind of funny to say. He goes to Planet Portland, okay? And the Sixers get back this guy. Now, who is he? Okay. This is a guy that has been struggling a little bit from his 3-point shooting compared to years past, but he's averaging about 10.5 points per game. He's also averaging 5 rebounds, and he's shooting 45% from the field. He's only 25 years old. He's a 6'9" forward, and he has been very cold shooting-wise as of lately, but maybe, just maybe, when they double-team Joel and when they double-team James Harden more, maybe he's going to get more wide-open looks, and maybe that'll be a confidence booster for him. I don't know. He's a really, really good defender. He's athletic. He is a dog. And I still wish that the Sixers would have gotten some more pieces and that they would have gotten some better pieces. But they did end up making the move. It makes them a little bit better, but I don't know if it fully moves the needle. Do you guys believe that Jalen McDaniels can make that much of a difference to this franchise? Maybe he could. I don't see it, though. I think that the Sixers needed more of a 3-and-D guy that can play or that can shoot the ball very well. He's a better shooter than Matisse Thybulle. That's clear as day. He is a better shooter. He can play more minutes than Matisse Thybulle could. He's a good perimeter defensive player. The Sixers just needed more. They needed I really, really would have liked them to try to get Seth Curry back. And Andre Drummond would have been nice to come back to. But this team, as of right now, as of where they are constructed, they don't push the thread forward, in my eyes. But we have to wait and see. And it was really important for us to just discuss this first. Now, if you're wondering how he's been doing over his last 5 games, let's take a look. He's been struggling, like I mentioned, especially from 3. He was over 2 in his last game from 3. He played in 17 minutes. He did have 3 steals and 1 block, but he had 6 points. He had 7 in the game before that against Orlando, and he was 1 for 4 from downtown. And against Detroit, he had 14 points, and he was 1 for 2 from 3. He had a better game. He had 4 steals as well. But he also, in the game before that, was 0 for 5 from 3. So he's been inconsistent lately. I do think that his numbers will probably get a little bit better with the Sixers, but I have to see him gel. And until I see that, I must admit that I'm very disappointed in Daryl Morey. But as we are disappointed in one thing, we're also very excited about what's to come on Sunday. And let's transition into that. I know that was a little bit of an awkward transition, but we had to touch on the Planet Sixers first because I know that this is all about the Eagles. And we are going to talk about the Eagles right now. But we also have to make sure that we're keeping up to date with other big news that's going on. So I had to mention that we got Jalen McDaniels. We traded away Matisse Thybulle. He's gone. And Jalen McDaniels is now in. Now, the Sixers could obviously get more people in the buyout market. That remains to be seen. But if something big does happen that helps the team, we'll talk about it because that's what we do on here. So let's switch gears a little bit and let's talk about these Eagles. Sunday, man, I am excited. I cannot wait to see this team in Arizona. All the hype, all the talk that I've been listening to on sports talk radio, I'm just ready for it, man. I go to NFL Films, and hear all this talk about the Super Bowl on Good Morning Football. I see people out there in Arizona, and I'm just like, can we just play already? Can we just play? I want to see Jalen go out there and face Patrick Mahomes. That's the matchup I've been wanting for a while. And yet it's almost here. So as we transition into this topic, okay, we're going to talk about a couple of things. And I want to hear from you guys. Make sure you comment down below and respond to these types of things. So my first question that I want to ask you guys is, what are your expectations in this game? I'll go over mine. My expectations are that the Eagles are going to annihilate the offensive line, defensively speaking. And Patrick Mahomes is really going to have to work around that juggernaut of a defense in order for him to have a good game. He's really going to have to escape the pocket because the pressure's going to come. And what's he going to do once the blitz comes and that defensive line gets past the Chiefs' O-line? I expect the Eagles to dominate in that area, and I expect it to be a low-scoring game for a Super Bowl. I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be close. I do trust Harrison Butker more in situations on kicks. Even though this season he's been struggling, I still trust him more than I trust Jake Elliott. And you can go back and forth with me on that. But what I am here to tell you is that I do expect this team to come out on top. I don't think it's going to be easy. They're going to really have to try to get at Mahomes. They're also going to have to attack on the run. And I don't know how Jalen's going to do in a 2-minute drill, but I do trust that he can get it done. I have faith. I'm going with my gut here. Jalen hasn't had that great performance since he got injured. I think he's due. I do. I'd like to see them try to establish the run a little bit early and then get the air game going a little bit. It would be so nice. It would be so nice to see if A.J. Brown goes flying out there. That would be really cool. We haven't seen a breakout performance in the playoffs so far by him. He's been very quiet, but I expect that he's going to make some noise. Devontae Smith could make noise too. I don't know about Dallas Goedert. The main thing that the Eagles are going to have to do defensively, that's going to be tough, is while, yes, they have to pressure Mahomes, they are going to have to try to guard that man, that other Kelsey, Travis Kelsey. There is a reason why he is the best tight end in the league. And he's arguably the best tight end of all time. You can make the argument. It's no disrespect to all the other tight ends that came before him. But you can totally make an argument about that right there. As long as the Eagles take care of the football and they have really good time management, really good clock management, and they can make Andy Reid think on his toes, they got this. And it's weird because I understand that as Planet Philadelphians, we have always had this underdog, blue collar mentality. We can still have the blue collar mentality, and we do. But we have to accept that this team is now a favorite, and we have to be okay with it. We have to be okay with it, and we have to go out there and produce. That's what it comes down to. This team, we talked about it time and time and time again. I can literally go back to all the time machines if you really want to here on Planet Philly. Time and time and time and time and time again that this team is the best team in franchise history. All around. There's a lot of Hall of Famers on this team. In Eagles history. Some of them are actually NFL Hall of Famers too. Jason Kelsey's a Hall of Famer. Lane Johnson could actually be a Hall of Famer too. Maybe Fletcher Cox. I don't know. He's going to the Eagles Hall of Fame, that's for sure. Brandon Graham is going to be in the Eagles Hall of Fame. But I do expect that this team is going to produce on Sunday, and it is going to just come down to clock management. Can Nick Sirianni be himself? And can Jalen Hurts do his thing? Those are my two questions. I also want to point out that I do have a question about the defensive coordinator, Jonathan Gannon, even though he's been terrific as of lately. Part of me wants to ask the question, though. Is he going to correct his mistakes from last time that they played against the Chiefs, which was last year, where Patrick Mahomes had all of this room to operate? He had no pressure on him. There was no blitz coming, and he threw for over 350 yards. It was like night and day for him to just throw the ball down the field to Tyreek Hill. and to Travis Kelce and to other guys like Mecole Hardman. Did Jonathan Gannon learn from that? I believe that the answer is yes, but I have to see it. I have to see it. So, as we come back on the planet Earth, or sorry, before we come back on planet Earth, I want to know down below in the comments section, I want you to tell JJ what your expectations are in this game. Do you think that the Eagles are going to come out strong out of the gates, or do you think it's going to be a shaky start? Do the Eagles win? How do you think? What do you think are going to be the keys in this game if the Eagles want to come out and win? How are the Chiefs going to beat them? I'm asking you a lot of questions. I'm just spitballing all these, and I'm just seeing what sticks for you guys. I'm throwing something at the wall, and I'm seeing what sticks. Because I want to hear from you guys. This is supposed to be an interactive community where we all come together as Planet Philadelphians, and we express our love, and we celebrate when things are going well, and we ask questions when we don't know the answers, and we seek help from other people to try to get answers from them. That's what connection, that's what community, that's what all that's about. So feel free to comment down below. And as we head back to planet Earth, it was a short one today, but I just wanted to come on here and just catch up a little bit and sprinkle in a little bit of some Eagles and a little bit of Sixers, because we're going through a time now. Lots of emotions, lots of things to look out for, and lots of feelings. Lots of feelings. But if you have any sort of feelings that you want to express about the Eagles, about the Sixers, this is what this community is all about. This is why we come on Planet Philly, to get free from the outside world of sports. We educate people. We are there for each other. When we're all happy, we cry together. When we're sad, that's what we do. So that's going to wrap things up here for Planet Philly. My name is Jason Joseph. Okay, you can follow me on Play by Play with JJ on YouTube, on Twitter, and on Twitch as well, and other social media platforms. Also, make sure that you subscribe to Planet Philly on Twitter, on all the socials that are listed down below in the description. And also make sure that, you keep up with Jen McGraw and Nick Earnshaw, because they host this too. And they're the best people. They're my best friends, and I love them all so much. All right, that's going to wrap things up. My name is Jason Joseph. Wearing my Phillies World Series shirt. And we come back to Earth. And I will catch you all on the next one. Go Eagles, baby. We'll be talking a little bit more before the game.